Happy Tuesday, everybody. We're back again with another video, another live video, hoping to bring some more value, some more information over for you guys. Today's topic, we are going to go into house hacking 101. What is house hacking and what you could utilize from this strategy alone. And this goes for all my property owners, especially all my future homeowners who are going to get into this business sooner or later, purchase their first home, start building that wealth, start building equity, etc. There's this very useful tip, very useful tool, actually, strategy that is used widely across our economy, and is this idea of house hacking. And what the idea of house hacking is purchasing a single family home, whether it's a single family house where a 3-bedroom, a 4-bedroom, right, or a duplex, purchasing a triplex, or you could purchase a quadplex, right? These are different property types that are labeled as a single family dwelling. And what occurs here is, let's say you live on your own, right? It's your first property that you buy. You get a 3-bedroom house, 2 baths, and what you essentially do is you're paying off the mortgage for yourself, right? You're paying that monthly. What you could do is rent out the additional bedrooms that you own, right? So like, let's say you have 2 other bedrooms that are, unoccupied. You could either short-term rental them, which in this case, Airbnb is very popular these days. You could Airbnb your extra bedrooms, right, for the short-term return, right? But there's also the long-term where you could bring in let's say a roommate, and you charge them, an X amount of dollars, right? And that payment goes towards paying off your monthly mortgage. That allows for you to stay on top of your bills, lower your living expenses, and start building that equity, start building that wealth. And of course, over time, you're paying repetitionally and consistently as you have your roommates involved, right? Another example is purchasing a duplex, which in this case is basically a home with 2 apartment units, right? And you live in one, you rent out the other. The same thing applies, right? That monthly payment that they're making towards you goes towards the mortgage, and it allows for you to cut your living expenses, and in some cases you're able to live rent free, right? So the advantages of house hacking is you're able to cut down your living expenses. You start using that monthly income from the rentals that you're paying or that you're making, and you apply that to the monthly mortgage. That starts building your wealth, starts adding more into the equity of the home. And of course, over time, you're able to build that equity a lot faster, right? Instead of just paying it by yourself single-handedly, right? So, the advantages, of course, obviously cutting your expenses, your living expenses, which is very, very important, very important to the aspect that it's allowing you to save more money, allowing you to build your financials, allowing you to build your wealth a lot faster, because you're not, on average, 30 to 40% of our income goes towards our living expenses, right? So if you're able to cut that bill, right, your rent, your utilities, right, where you're able to cut that bill in half, let's say, because you have somebody else paying you, you're able to build that equity, build your financial wealth a lot sooner, a lot faster, right? And so obviously, other advantages of house hacking, it allows for you to get into the business as an investor yourself. You're already slowly working towards being a landlord when you have somebody occupying the other units of yours, right? And you're able to also utilize the FHA loans that have a lower down payment towards purchasing some of these properties. Like I mentioned, a single family home is a regular house, a duplex, triplex, and a quadplex. FHA can loan you money for these type properties with as low as 3.5 down payment towards the property, right? So you're able to start, utilize the good lending. Obviously, right now the interest rates are extremely low. You take advantage of the more money that they're able to borrow you at a lower rate. You take advantage of that. You start building wealth on an asset, since you're paying on time with less money out of your pocket, since you're utilizing somebody else's payment, right? And you're slowly building wealth, slowly building equity. You could, with the FHA, you're only obligated to live there for 1 year, right? So after that first year, second year, you could even use that equity and go and purchase a second home and house hack at that one, leaving the units that you were utilizing for rent, right? And then you turn that into an extra rental, an extra monthly payment towards your pocket that is going towards, building more equity and more wealth to yourself, right, and to your family. Now, I want to give you guys a quick little example, a little visual. So I'm gonna bring you over to my whiteboard real quick to break you guys down with the quick little numbers, so that you guys get a better sense of what I'm trying to preach here, and so that you guys see the advantages of house hacking, right? So here we have a quadplex being one of the many that FHA will loan against, right? Loan for. So here we're using the FHA as low as 3.5% down. That's the lowest that they're willing to allow for you to come in. And so we're gonna say here, you purchase this house right here, and it has 4 units. 4 units being separate doors that somebody could literally access on their own privately. And the purchase price for this property, let's say it's $400,000 for the example, for the sake of this example, right? It's just example only. So on this purchase, you got 4 units that you purchased for $400,000 with a 3.5% down payment at $14,000, right? So you're coming out of pocket $14,000 to purchase this property, right? That's gonna put your monthly mortgage at $2,000. Now these 4 units here, right? You're obviously gonna live in one, and these others, for the sake of this example, they're gonna rent each one for $1,400, right? So you're gonna put $1,400 here, $1,400 here, $1,400 here, and all these 3 are gonna make you $4,200 a month, right? This $4,200 a month from the rent that you're making from each of these units is gonna go towards paying off the mortgage, right? The $2,000. So you're left with $1,200 cash in your pocket just from renting out these other 3 units, right? So you're technically living for free at this point in time. You're putting $1,200 extra into your pocket. Now, do keep in mind there will be other expenses. FHA does have requirements for mortgage insurance, so you will probably end up paying mortgage insurance. So this $1,200 probably comes down a little bit lower, but you're still pocketing money, and you're putting money back into your pocket, living rent free, right? And you could do this for a year, 2 years, and what you're doing is you're adding towards the equity of the home, right? Because every time that you're paying the mortgage, you're lowering the principal balance of the property itself, and you're building equity, you're building wealth into the ownership part of side of things. And so think about it, you're adding, let's say, $1,000 to your pocket every single month. That's $12,000 that you're putting back into your pocket every year, living rent-free while still owning, right? Majority of us pay probably $12,000, $15,000, $20,000 a year, $25,000 in some cases a year just renting. But when you rent, right, you're paying off somebody else's mortgage. Here, you're owning, you purchase to own, somebody else is paying that mortgage for you. Your 3 tenants, 1, 2, 3, are all paying for your mortgage, which is helping you build equity in your own pocket, which at the end of it all can be utilized, that equity could be utilized into purchasing another one like this. And when you do that, you go buy a second one just like this, right? You get another 4 units, you live in one, and you do the same thing. And this one, the one that you were living at before, also becomes $1,400 a month. And it just builds on that way. And you're able to do this with the FHA loan, 3.5% down, $14,000 out of pocket for a $400,000 home. That's going to allow for you to build equity, put cash in your pocket, and allow for you to start building that wealth a lot faster. Now, obviously, finding deals like this may or may not be as easy as it is for me to draw this up, right? But there's always deals like this out there if you're looking, if you stay on the lookout, if you're interested, if you know somebody who's interested, wants to get into this type of business or wants to understand how to utilize this, how to start making money and putting that money back into your pocket, building that equity and building that financial wealth, being able to build that financial wealth through real estate is probably one of the easiest ways to go, because we all end up becoming homeowners sooner or later. If you're able to do this for your first 1 or 2 properties, think about how much money you're putting back into your pocket, necessarily saving. You're putting equity into your pocket, you're building wealth, and you're doing that to do what? To build more and add more to your portfolio. Because look at this. This is one property that you started off with. You go 2 years later, buy a second one. Now you own 2 properties. You do this for 2 years. Now you're able to go maybe find your family home. And while you buy your family home, you now have 8 units, all bringing in $1,400, adding cash into your pocket while they pay off the mortgage for you and build your equity for you, right? So, you know, with that being said, there's so much opportunity out there. You know, opportunities like this, they're not hard to find, you know, and really, if you set yourself up now and start thinking about how you could get started into these ideas, into these strategies, and start learning how to make these strategies work for you. Of course, I may have explained that a lot easier and it looks easy to explain. This takes time, it takes practice, it takes educating yourself, understanding what you're doing, and understanding how to use, you know, assets like real estate to help you build your wealth. Now, yes, I'm an agent. Part of it is, you know, sales, but this is more than just sales. You know, this is me trying to show you guys how to build wealth through purchasing properties like real estate, purchasing assets, you know, that will allow for you to accumulate more wealth, build financial freedom, and then of course as well, most importantly, start creating that generational wealth within your family so that you're able to pass on this knowledge, the knowledge I just presented to you guys, over to your future family, you know, over to your future kids, so that they're able to implement these strategies and start utilizing those strategies for themselves. Because this is, real estate is forever. I'm gonna say this, and majority of the time I'm gonna say this is real estate is forever. Real estate is not gonna go anywhere. The dirt that we walk on, the buildings that we live in, you know, that's real estate. That's forever, you know. And so, you guys, if you guys ever have any questions, or maybe you want me to go into more detail about that, obviously it was a quick, basic breakdown of it all. Reach out to me. I love to answer your questions. I love to help guide you in the right direction. We're always here to help. We're always here to bring value, information, and knowledge to you guys. And I really hope that, you know, these videos truly help you guys understand the benefits of real estate and not make it a liability, and start turning these into assets for your family, for your future family, for generations to come. So, you know, with that being said, if there's any questions that you may have from the presentation or from the example, or maybe you want me to break down house hacking a little bit more, feel free to reach out, drop your comments below, you know, ask me your questions. It only allows for me to help you guys if I know exactly what you guys need to know, what you guys want to know, and what you guys are looking for out of real estate, right? So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for sharing this, for liking this, for interacting. Ask me your questions. My messages are always open. My phone's always open. You know how to reach me. And I hope you guys have a great one. Stay blessed, stay safe, you know, and let's keep on building this wealth. Let's keep on building this knowledge. God bless everybody.